Alright, welcome. This is Devin from Deadly Art Games. For those coming for the first time, welcome. For those coming back, welcome back. So today we are going to go over a remake of my build that I had previously done, the Fire Aura build, since they are about to be removing one of the skills that are part of it. So I'm kind of redoing the build to incorporate the changes into it to where it's still going to be a viable build to play. A few adjustments, a few things we had to change up and tweak up to make sure it still is just as enjoyable and fun and quick and all that fun stuff. Um, so before we get into that, I do have a giveaway going on down below. Jump down there, enter to win a copy of Outriders, a first-person shooter action RPG. Little mixture of a lot of different elements into it. It really looks like it's going to be a really awesome game. I've been following it for quite a while. But like I said, I will be giving away a free copy of that. Link is down below. Enter to win. Also, subbing to the channel enters you into the win it as well. I will be giving away a game every month, so this month is Outriders. So make sure you subscribe to keep up to date with the giveaways, my build guides, all that fun stuff. If you do like the content, smash that like button. Definitely appreciate it. Helps with the channel growing, gets the video out there so more people can see it. Also, Discord link is down below if you want to jump in there and chit chat with everybody. Love to have you. I'll be playing with the community as soon as multiplayer does eventually drop. If you play other games, I'll be more than happy to play with y'all there on other games if I happen to have it, or if it's good enough, maybe I might go buy it myself. But yeah, if you looking for someone to play with, we have more than enough people down there to play with you, or I'll play with you. I don't really matter. Well, aside from working, if I'm not at work, I'll be more than happy to play with you. So, uh, so that's it. So let's go ahead and jump into the build and go over. I will be going over the gear, the skills, um, basics, how to play the class, and all that stuff. So definitely gonna go through quite a bit here, so we're gonna try to make it as quick as possible. First off, I'll go straight through while we're watching the gameplay in the background. The play style of the game is pretty easy, quick, simple, to where you're not having to overly do a lot of stuff. You can just basically run around and let the aura kill almost everything, and then just every once in a while when you have an enemy that's something like that where you want to knock it down quickly, you just pop your skills and stuff like that. So for the most part, it's very simple to play and run through and farm with and everything like that. You'll essentially want to cast Firebrand, which is my right click melee skill. I just cast it every so often just to get the buff for the Firebrand, because essentially whenever you get all your stacks, you just got to hit a mob every so often to just because every time you hit, it refreshes all the stacks. So it's definitely going to help do more damage with those stacks up and everything like that. So but other than that, that's pretty much it. It's pretty much you just teleport, which gives you some resistances and some buffs as well. But you cast Nova when you leave and when you arrive, so extra damage there. Enchant weapon just for extra damage. That's where the fire shield used to be, but since that's going away, I took that out and put enchant weapon there. And then we got the fire aura, which is pretty much itself casts itself, so you don't generally have to cast it. I only cast it every once in a while when I need a little bit of extra ward. So that's about the only time that I ever really kind of pop it if I need it, or just a little extra damage. But for the most part, I don't have to use it very often. So now we're going to go into, like I said, I'm going to go into the build, kind of go through it. I'm going to have a link to the build guide down below to where y'all can go to that and kind of follow up on that. If y'all have any questions or anything over the build, leave a comment down below and let me know, and I'll be more than happy to answer them as I can. All right, so here is the guide or the planner that I'm going to go over. We're going to be having a bunch of Intel will have all our resistance capped. Now, there's a few ways you can do this, and I'll kind of go through them. Essentially, I would recommend getting something like this to where you have fire aura area. Get about 2 of those with the fire damage with more than 300 mana, and then on 2 of them get mana on those 2. Um, that way you can get your mana as high as possible. Now, you just want to try to aim for just over 300. So if you can get 300 from your passives, and then from here, you'll be able to free up some of those slots here to where, like in the rings, you can switch these out for silver rings, just gets more movement speed. And then if you still have a little bit more, you can take, like, say, the mana out of here and get health, or the hybrid health to get a little bit more health on it. Just get it a little bit more tanky, but I don't have any issues with what I got, so it's kind of totally up to you on that end. This one will be fire aura damage and elemental resist, just to help cap out the resist there. And this, you can just put fire damage and man, I guess. That's kind of up to you. There's not a whole lot of options as far as that. If you have like a resistance that you need, just pop it in there with that. We are going with Divine Scepter with essentially spell damage, ignite chance. Apparently, I'm missing a mod on there. That's what's supposed to be on there. Spell, fire, ignite chance, mana. Helmet is fire damage base, intel, vitality, fire damage over time, fire aura damage. Chest is adaptive spell, intel, damage dealt to mana before health, just a little bit more survivability there. Fire damage over time, fire aura. The amulet is going to be physical necro resist, just to kind of help cap those. Fire damage, spell damage, physical resist, elemental resist. Ward per second, the highest one you can get. Spell damage, fire damage, mana, necro resist. Like I said, the rings you can swap as you get higher mana to where you don't need them. Fire, spell, void, and poison resist. The belt is going to be armor, 4 potion slots, elemental damage over time, ignite chance on hit for 4 seconds when you use a potion, void, and poison resist. The other ring is going to be, like I said, you swap them out. Fire, spell, elemental, void. Gloves is going to be damage leech, intel, mana, and elemental damage. Transient rest boots for the resist, mana when you stop moving, so it definitely helps keeping you at a higher pool of ward. And then, of course, the movement speed. And then the fire emblem, which is spell, fire, mana, and elemental resist. Now, kind of going over here, we'll have a little bit of vitality, a big chunk of elemental or intelligence. Sorry, all the resists are going to be capped. We're sitting at about 972, which it's missing some because this tool doesn't incorporate your passive tree into it, so some of that's not in there. Got a little bit of armor, a little bit of armor mitigation. That's pretty much it. We have 425% spell damage, 493% fire damage. Crits, not really worried about. We have 64 spell adaptive damage. We got 184% ward retention. We regen 40 ward. And 15% of damage dealt to mana before health. Minion we're not doing, so we have about 52% chance ignite, 254 damage. Now this is not like I said, it just doesn't have all the crit chance. So some of the skills have their own crit chance. Passive tree has not crit chance, sorry, ignite chance. So that would be a lot higher. So let's go ahead and get into the passive first. The passive tree, we are coming over here for fire damage essentially. Here for the spell damage, spell slow chance, which that's not really worried about. Over here just to get to the 20 points, so gives us a little bit more health and mana. Coming over here, sorcerer, we've got 8 in spell damage, 8 here for the mana and the armor. And here, 8 for these two are for the fire stuff. So we got the fire damage, ignite chance, and then fire leech and penetration. Spellblade, we've got, we'll start on the right side. 4 here, just ward gain on melee attack. 5 for elemental burst chance, and then 3 here to get a little bit more retention and elemental burst damage increase. We've got 4 here to get the arcane shielding. And over here we've got elemental damage, then aura chance per second, 40%, doubled no aura. And then we have fire aura base damage per second, 24, and increased aura area. Then we are coming up here to this to get 3 points in here for a little bit more health and melee gen with melee attack. Then we get the fire resistance and a fire aura chance, because essentially the reason why we want to get as much chances on the fire aura is because the more stacks you have, the more damage it does. So then ward per second per fire aura there. And then we got some more adapted spell damage. The reduced cast speed I'm not worried about, because most everything is instant, so it's not really a big issue. Health and damage over time, and that is it for the passes. And then we'll jump over to the skill panel now. To start off with, we have enchanted weapon. So first off, you'll want to come over here to get the active duration, just so you can keep it up as long as possible. Now there is 2 ways you can set this up, due to the fact that if you want to be lazy and have it auto cast for you, you can come over here and put 2 points here and then 1 point here. But you can actually make it just auto cast yourself just by hotkeying one of your numpad numbers to whatever key, whatever button you have for the skill on your skill bar, and then just press that button and press numlock, and it will auto cast for you. So if you don't want to use that ability, you can just go here and just have it auto cast for you. I mean, you're going to get a little bit of melee elemental damage, which honestly isn't a big deal because we're not really doing melee damage. All of our stuff is mainly spell, so I mean you still do hit every once in a while with the melee, so I mean it could help a little bit. But if you know how to use the numlock trick, just use that instead and save you the 3 points, and then bring it over here. 4 points into melee ignite, 5 up here for the melee fire damage, and increased melee fire damage. 2 in here, and 1 in ignite damage. And what this does is it accelerates the ignite or instant ignite damage. What it does, it accelerates all the damage instantly whenever you hit them. So if they have a bunch of stacks on them, then you'll just instantly just do a ton of damage, and then this boosts the damage up even more. What I'm actually going to do is I am gonna, and I'll leave a note down below, I'm gonna try to take this off. I'm gonna remove this and put it down here and try this out, and then put essentially the 4 points here, and then put the extra point in the melee ignite chance. Just for the simple fact that, like I said, I'm not really doing a lot of melee. I mean, I do it, and some more on the bosses, do a bit more. But for the most part, I don't really get the bulk of my damage from melee. So I'm gonna respec this and put it down here and see how that plays out. Having something do another cast of spell damage, so it might be something that'll be, because that'll bring up the damage from the burst up to 90% damage. And I mean, it has a 2-second cooldown, but with this, that's 30% of that. So I mean, I love their whole 10% cooldown reduction, which makes it sound like, oh, it's gonna lower it so much, but I meant 30% of 2. I meant that's gonna bring it down to what, 1.6, something like that. Or, so, but yeah, I mean, it could go off quite a bit. I mean, it's still going to require you to hit the enemy, so we'll see how that plays out. Like I said, I'll leave a note down below in the comments of how it played out. Then we got the flame ward. We've got 1 point over here. We're essentially using it just to come over here to where we get the less damage taken. Then we're coming over here to grab this to increase the duration, mana efficiency. Over here for the fire damage increase, so that's where you'll get your bonus fire damage when you pop it. Over here to added fire damage, gain haste, and fire aura. So this will give you the extra aura. And then the aura damage. Over here for Elemental Nova, we've gone up here 8 points for the damage and the area. 1 to enable Fire Aura. Over here for Elemental Penetration. And then 4 here for damage to full life. I generally go this way instead of like Ignite, because generally this is how I go into packs. So I mean, they're all going to have full life, so as soon as I hit them, it's going to blow them up and do a good chunk of damage to them, and then the aura just finishes them off, or if I use it at all. So Firebrand, we're coming up here for 2 points for attacks per stack. Now we're not too worried about the speed because of the fact that we're only hitting every once in a while, so you're just not like you're wailing away. Ignite chance, and then getting increased fire damage over time per stack, and then spreading flame chance as well. And then over here to get melee fire switched over to adaptive spell damage. So that's where we're using this essentially just to buff our other skills essentially. Coming over here to maximum 3 stacks, or gives you more stacks instead of just 1. Gives more duration. Refresh, this is where as soon as you hit some, it'll refresh all the stacks that you have, so it's easier to keep them up at all times. Ward gained, maximum stacks to bump that up even higher, because the more you have, the more damage you're going to do. And then last but not least, teleport. We're going over here for cold resist armor, and then stat buff duration. Over here for resist and stun avoidance. Mirror, increased elemental damage. And then we've got the Elemental Nova on arrival, on departure, and halfway in between. So you'll cast your aura all over the place whenever you use it. So definitely a good way to kind of spread it out and get a bunch of damage kind of going all over the place. But that is pretty much it. Like I said, the build's pretty simple. It doesn't require any like exotic uniques or anything like that. This is the only unique I use. I pretty much use it on a lot of my builds just because of the resist that you get. Um, Survivability's there. You're going to have plenty of ward. Uh, like I said, you can kind of tweak it to your own. Like I said, at bare minimum, try to get to that 300 mana. I know getting some of these are going to be a little bit tricky of getting the other stat on it to get the mana. So I would just get the mana here first and then start working on these. Like I said, you'll probably get some of the fire damage ones with 300 maximum, but you won't. Chances are it might take you a bit to get the ones that have the secondary mana on it to give you more of a mana pool to where then you can take them off of here and change those to health or whatever kind of helps you stay afloat. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's If y'all have any questions, leave a comment down below. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions, help you build it out. I wish multiplayer was here. I'd help you farm gear, help you farm stuff for it. Let me know what y'all think of the build. Do you think it looks fun? Is it your cup of tea? Any insight of things that you think would make it better? I'm all about making things better, so let me know. Um, but other than that, like I said, I do have a giveaway going on down below. Last month I gave away a copy of Lost Epoch. This month I'm giving away a copy of Outriders. Go to link, enter to win. Also, subscribing to the channel does give you an entry as well. So if you don't want to go to the link, you can just subscribe to the YouTube, and I will be manually putting those in as an extra entry as well. And then I'll be having another giveaway next month. I do have you could join the Discord, and essentially I'll let the community decide what I give away. So here soon I'll be drawing that, whatever the insight people give me of what they want. We'll do a vote, and whatever wins, what I give away next month. Um, so, like I said, if y'all do like the content, please smash that like button. Definitely appreciate it. It helps the video get out there so more people could see it. Also, if you want to join the Discord, come chit chat with us, play with others, all that fun stuff, we'd love to have you. Other than that, you all have a great one. My name is Devin from Deadly Art Gaming, and I'll see y'all next time.